What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry questions arc. Last episode, we finished episode 1. Finally. Legend of the Golden Witch, blah blah blah. Now we're gonna check out what the fuck this tea party thing is, so. Episode 1 tea party. You have done well to make it this far. Have you enjoyed your stay on Rokanjima? Stop ringing the fucking bell. Okay, thanks. The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. Also, I'm recording this on the same day that I recorded the last episode because I just want to see what happens with this tea party thing. So let's do it. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but we'll see. Purgatorio, or Purgatory in English. Oh god. Okay. Oh. Hey everyone, congrats on finishing Umineko no Naku Koro ni. Man, I still didn't have a clue what was going on when the story ended. What is this, a podcast? What the fuck? This is a podcast. So just what happened? What was that? Was that basically the bad ending where time runs out before the culprit gets exposed? Definitely a bad ending. That's right. Beatrice's letter, which Maria read on the first day, did tell us in advance to solve the riddle of the epitaph. We were also busy trying to protect ourselves and look for the culprit that we didn't even take a shot at it. Oh boy, I get to do the voices of characters who died like 6 episodes ago. Hurrah! That's right! Oh fuck, that's not what it was. If we had actually... Is that what it was? I think so. If we had actually tried to solve the riddle, maybe things would have ended differently. I wonder about that. Shannon, you did a good job too. You don't have to be our waitress and serve tea. After all, this is a rap party. As a group of people who met a terrible fate, let's all get along and lick each other's wounds. Lick, lick, lick. Oh, great. Speaking of a horrible fate, Shannon beats the rest of us hands down, doesn't she? You've met with a horrible fate, haven't you? Terrible fate. I don't know. She was such a beautiful character, so I thought she'd definitely survive until the very end. But she was killed right in the beginning, and on top of that, what was it? Half of her face was smashed, right? That's the worst. That was my role, so, there was no way around it. Shannon, it's nothing for you to worry about. Oh boy, it's him again. Judging by the last epilogue, even Milady and the rest of them met an extremely tragic end. Haha, it seems so. I think I remember seeing this horrible picture, kind of like my entire body had been eaten apart and dismembered. What? Wait, do we get... Hold on. We can send off the dead people, great. Oh Christ. Missing. Even though she was given a previous invitation to the Golden Land, a single fool refused to believe in the witch and all of the magic disappeared. She was then chewed to bits by demons and went to hell. George, missing. Even though everyone was getting along so well after being reunited in the Golden Land, all of the magic came to nothing because of a certain airheaded fool, and that's probably Batware. Afterwards, the demons chewed him to the bone and we went to hell. Maria missing, hehehehe, yeah, go figure, and then Batware. This fool made the world where everyone could be happy all come to nothing. Though Beatrice is extremely angry, she also seems to be enjoying herself immensely. It's almost as though she's waited 1,000 years to get her hands on a toy as fun as this one. Hopefully even this fool will be able to see you before long. Alright, send them off. Jessica, she had a difficult voice. George, dealt with quite a large amount of deaths in his time. Batware screams a lot, and Maria is... Apparently her crown got hurt too. Judging from how I'm almost positive they died from a bomb, but I guess I'm gonna stop speculating with episode 1 now, because Christ, we've already gone over too much of that. I still think it's Shannon, but whatever. Speaking of which, don't you think Cannon's last moments were the coolest? Even though he had the tables turned on him, it was a showdown with the culprit, right? It's a whole bunch better than our confusing last moments, right? Though in the end, I was unable to get a solid hit in. Still, I think Cannon's death was a big hint. After all, because of that, the existence of the 19th person was made clear. That's right. At that time, everyone's location was obvious. So it was impossible for anyone other than some unknown 19th person to kill Cannon. Shit, we gotta continue with the speculation. Alright, I got my cardboard tube. Let's scream into it. It was Shannon, she faked her death. There.
Ew. I said it was Beatrice from the beginning, over and over. Ew.
I don't want to believe it, but that does prove the culprit was a witch calling herself Beatrice.
That's right. There were many strange things that happened that a human couldn't do. Only a witch could do things like murdering Aunt Eva in that closed room. A human couldn't do it.
Is it just the four cousins and Canon and Shannon? Okay. Not only is the existence of a 19th person clear, but it's also obvious that this person holds a power that humans can't even imagine. In that case, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling this person Beatrice. We probably met at the very end. Met with the Golden Witch.
Like I kept saying, Beatrice exists. It all went bad because no one ever believed. Ew. Even one of her witch friends says that miracles won't occur if you don't believe. Ugh. That's right. Beatrice is generous to those who respect her.
It seems to me that Maria was never a target of Beatrice's wrath up to the very end, despite the horrible crimes that occurred one after another.
Well, Maria believed in Beatrice from the very beginning. But if that's the case, how do you explain why you and the rest were all killed? You guys believed in Beatrice just as much, right?
Beatrice probably had her reasons.
If the Song of the Epitaph represented Beatrice's resurrection ceremony, many sacrifices were needed. He must simply have been designated to be one of those.
Shannon, you met a horrible end. At the very least, I wish your death could have been more peaceful and pretty.
Well, it's not like it hurt. Anyway, right now I'm perfectly fine, so don't worry.
After seeing him stroke Shannon's cheek, which had been crushed during the story, everyone laughed out loud, smiling. Well, it feels a bit weird saying this, but I was sure this story would fit into the standard mystery genre. I'm a bit surprised to find out that it's a fantasy. After all, a Western mansion shut away from the outside world on an isolated island, with an inheritance problem on everyone's minds? It sounds just like a typical mystery novel to me.
Ew, it's not fantasy, Beatrice exists, ew!
Yes, we understand. Beatrice does exist.
That's right, Beatrice does exist. I hate to admit it, but I've got no choice, because it's obvious that a 19th person, a witch, was involved.
Many things happened that'd be impossible for humans. During the story, we tried to deny that in all sorts of ways. Sorry, I gotta clear my throat. I usually do that before every episode, but I guess I have to do it now. But now I can say it for sure. Each crime, every single one, would have been impossible for a human. No. They'd be impossible to carry out unless it was the witch Beatrice using all of the power magic could provide.
The culprit was a witch. That point's perfectly clear. Long live Beatrice. Ew, everyone believed. I'm so glad. Ew. Gods and witches might seem terrifying to people who are frightened of them, but I think they must be affectionate to those who believe in and respect them.
I think you're right.
So this murder case game is finally over. Now's the time to pull ourselves together and try hard to solve the riddle of the epitaph, just like Beatrice said, right? Ew, I agree. Beatrice will definitely be happy.
Everyone ignored that letter during the story.
Even though it was thrust right in front of us, we almost completely ignored it. I kind of feel sorry for Beatrice. I've got the epitaph written down right here. Let's all solve it. Let's all solve it.
The story probably went wrong ever since that time.
That may be so. Maybe we should have tried solving the epitaph's riddle from the beginning, like Beatrice said. Well, it's a little late now. Even so, let's try solving it now and see if the witch forgives us. Let's go. Let's try to solve the riddle of the epitaph. It was something like, "Behold the Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown."
Okay. Maria put her notebook on the table and opened to the page where the epitaph was written. Everyone stared at it, getting really into it as they started guessing this and that about the riddle. Surrounded by the smell of black tea and freshly baked vanilla cookies, they spent the time comfortably and happily. Shatter. 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 Okay, no. Hold on a second, you guys. But Battler spoke in a way that cut through the conversation. His expression looked a little unhappy. What could he not like about all this fun? I've been listening to you guys for a while, but why did you all stop thinking? Why are you so sure that the witch was behind all this? Don't you realize something like that can't exist? Christ. With just those words, the happy atmosphere surrounding the tea party evaporated in an instant. George and Jessica, and Shannon and Cannon, and Maria, all of them stared blankly, wondering what in the world Battler was talking about. Even the foolish, arrogant Battler realized that he hadn't chosen his words well. But because Isn't it clear that these crimes were impossible for a human?
That's right, that's right! None of the cases would have been possible for a human. That's true. After all, wasn't it full of things that humans couldn't explain?
I don't understand what you're saying, Battler. I'm the one who doesn't have a clue what you guys are talking about. Isn't it obvious that humans committed these crimes? There's no way something like a witch exists, right?
Then, what about when I was killed in the storehouse and something horrible was done to half of my face? If the culprit was human, how could they have accomplished it?
Well, if half your face was destroyed, they probably used a weed whacker. Like, I never theorized how the faces were destroyed, but it was probably a weed whacker. Well, it's hard to imagine how they did something that awful. But that was the Rose Garden storehouse, right? I'm sure there were plenty of weird tools in there. Let's say they used some electric tools, like a grinder or an electric saw.
That's,
Christ almighty. Hold on. My throat's retarded.
Then, Battler, how do you explain Grandfather's disappearance from the study when it was a closed room? Even though the door was sealed, Grandfather just suddenly disappeared, right?
We talked about that during the story, too. It's not impossible that Grandfather used some trick to fool the receipt. Shit. It's also possible that he went out the window, fell down, and Aunt Nazi locked the window from the inside. I could think of a bunch of tricks you could use without relying on magic.
That makes sense, but...
In that case, Battler, how do you explain the way my parents were killed in the guest room? The door was sealed by the lock and the chain. I feel like that's the hardest one, probably. Naturally, the window was sealed too. How do you think a human could have killed my parents? Well, we did have to leave that trick alone during the story. Anyway, there's at least a good chance the culprit had a key, and it was possible to look in through the crack of the door that the chain allowed. I know this is a stretch, but it's possible some device was used through that crack. Like maybe they stuck something through it? Well, even though a door chain is incredibly simple, it's a big factor in setting up a closed room. Still, there's probably some closed room trick they could have used. If you bought some closed room mystery novels from the bookstore, you could probably find some trick that'd fit perfectly. Anyway, I can't think of one now, but I claim that there's nothing humans can't do if they try hard enough. I still think that those two were accomplices, Hideyoshi and Eva. And Shannon, assuming that I was right about that theory, went in the room. She probably got access to the room, like, they let her in to talk about it. Or maybe the door wasn't locked in the first place because they were accomplices and thought, well, we can't be killed in here, can we? We're not gonna be killed because we're accomplices. That's how that works, right? And then they were killed because, oof. Fuck, my throat. It's stupid. Isn't that argument horribly irrational? It's just ridiculous to claim that it's possible for a human to do something, even though you can't explain how. Why is that ridiculous? Why did all of you stop thinking? Even something that looks impossible has to be doable. Doesn't it always work like that?
Battler, you're the one being ridiculous. If you think a human could have done it, try explaining how. You can't, can you?
And you're okay with saying the culprit is a witch just because I can't explain it? With that argument, all the unsolved crimes in the world could be resolved by saying a witch is the culprit. That's fair enough.
Battler, you're sidestepping the issue and you aren't explaining anything. We're saying a human couldn't have done it. Therefore, the culprit is something that isn't human. And that something is a witch. And yet you keep arbitrarily deciding that witches are impossible, even though you can't explain anything.
Okay, Christ almighty, what 9-year-old says arbitrarily? I don't even say arbitrarily. I say arbitrary. Like, calling shit arbitrary if it's not important.
It's almost like humanity was during the Dark Ages. Like those fools who claimed the heavens spun around the Earth. Those who said that the Earth couldn't be spinning, even though they couldn't explain why.
That kind of argument kind of pisses me off. So this is basically what you're trying to say. If I can't explain how a human could do it, then I must accept that the culprit is a witch? Yeah, that is kind of stretching a lot. It's not like we're forcing you to go that far. We were just wondering on what basis you can say such nonsense. Nonsense? Hey, have I really been saying something that weird just now? Am I the one who's crazy? You guys are really starting to freak me out. Battler, when I died in the boiler room, I was killed by a 19th person who shouldn't exist.
Can you explain how a human could have done that?
I feel like the whole purpose of this is Batware's going to find some way to explain how a human could have killed all of them, but not exactly who did it. So, yeah.
At that time, the locations of the 18 were well known. Even so, I was killed.
We talked about that in the story as well, right? Kumasawa, for example. She said she followed right after you and headed down to the boiler room, but we can't know for sure whether that was a lie or not. For all we know, she might have entered the boiler room with you and caught you by surprise. Or maybe when you stepped into the boiler room, you activated some kind of trap. One that might have been set up to hit you with one of those ice picks. After all, the stink of Grandfather's body was coming from the incinerator. Someone was bound to go and check, so if the culprit just set up a trap beforehand, they could easily have stayed away from that place and used the time of Cannon's death to create an alibi. That actually makes perfect sense, even though it's more likely that he was... I don't know.
You talk about a trap in the boiler room, but what kind of trap could that be?
Well, it's simple. You can even do it in Minecraft. Pressure plate, dispenser, put the steak in the dispenser, you step on the pressure plate, dispenser, and the dispenser shoots the steak into your chest. That's how it works.
That's right. Following his death, everyone immediately ran over to the boiler room. But we didn't find any kind of weird device, did we?
A tripwire, a very, very small pressure plate, motion detector, it could be anything.
That is correct. Battler, what kind of trap could I have been killed with?
Well, I don't know that. But anyway, they must have used some kind of clever trap, or maybe someone's lying. Or what about this? Cannon, what if the whole thing was just you play acting? That could make sense, but then in that case, Nanjo would have to be a accomplice, and so would Jessica, and I don't believe either of them are accomplices. The only thing that could point towards Nanjo being an accomplice is how he suggested leaving the study. But Natsuhi was already suggesting they should leave anyway, so yeah. That's it, you were play acting. And even Uncle Hideyoshi were also play acting. They made the closed room themselves and were only pretending to be dead. Oh, okay, now that's stretching.
Battler, has your head been, feeling okay? Should I bring some cold drinks?
Don't look at me with those pitying eyes. I'm not saying something that crazy, right? I'm just pointing out some possibilities you might find if you think of it all as a trick. Yeah, true. Look, isn't it a pretty classic trick in mystery stories to have one of the victims just be playing dead? That's true, yeah.
A classic trick?
In other words, when Cannon was killed, we knew for sure where all the rest of us were. And let's assume that Kumasawa wasn't lying. But that's only counting the survivors. What if the culprit pretended to be dead and joined a group of real victims so we'd lose track of them, then acted on their own later? Everything would be explained. That's definitely true, yes, and that's what I've been theorizing with Shannon.
Huh? So are you trying to say that Aunt Eva or one of the others was the culprit? But didn't Dr. Nanjo confirm all of their deaths as a doctor?
In that case, Nanjo's an accomplice. Got it. So Nanjo, Genji, Eva, and Hideyoshi were likely accomplices. And Shannon was the killer. I still don't think Cannon was play acting, but it is a possibility.
That's right. Dr. Nanjo checked all of the victims. Battler, for your theory to work, wouldn't Dr. Nanjo have to be one of the culprits too?
Yeah, that's right. Once you consider that Dr. Nanjo might have been one of the culprits and faked the proclamation of death, the whole story changes. See, that's also a classic trick in mystery novels, isn't it?
But Dr. Nanjo was also killed, right?
Everyone was killed. About that. That's right, Dr. Nanjo faked his death. After all, there wasn't anyone except Dr. Nanjo who could examine corpses properly, and everyone was really confused then anyway. We didn't have any spare time to check and see if he still had a pulse. With this theory, any one of the dead people could have been walking around. No, he was just an accomplice. The real killer fucking stabbed him because they didn't want any rat coming out.
I think it would have been too hard for the 6 of us who died in the beginning to do that. After all, the shutter was closed and there was a padlock that couldn't have been opened from the outside.
Fuck, that's right. Shit. Oh, no. Oh, wait, duh, no, they Fuck, I'm stupid. Even Hideyoshi lied about Shannon's body being there in the first place. She wasn't sitting on the ground faking it. She was just not there she wasn't there in general. So there.
That's right! Mom was holding on to that key. So is Mom one of the culprits too?
Wait a sec. Maybe it was impossible for the first 6, but in the case of George's parents, the door was only locked on the outside. So they could have opened it from the inside. That's right, after we left the room, maybe they jumped out the window and got to the boiler room first. Is that too much of a stretch? Or maybe Dr. Nanjo made a mistake when examining the corpses? Look, he said it himself, right? He said there's a very high probability of making a mistake when examining corpses. I'm sure he could tell if they're dead, though. If you disguised it well enough or prepared a substitute body, you could fake your own death. Let's leave the method or trick they use for later, and you see, it's not that hard to deny a 19th person existed, right? Much less a witch, right? At least that much is completely impossible.
I don't know why you've been trying so stubbornly to say that one of us is a culprit. In other words, you want to suspect one of your relatives?
That's not it. It's just, I can't easily accept that a 19th person existed. And even if one did, I think we should construct our argument from the point of view that the culprit was a human. True, yes. I'll only accept that it's a witch in desperation, at the very end, after everything else has been disproved. There's no way witches exist, right? Hold on. Why has everyone been casually accepting that the culprit was a witch? I think it's great how your family love makes you... Wait, what? I think it's great how your family love makes you hate the thought that someone close to you is a murderer. But is it okay to let that fool you? Don't you want to find the detestable culprit who killed so many people? George, don't you want to avenge your parents? Jessica, don't you want to avenge Cannon? And Cannon, don't you want to avenge Shannon? Shannon, you should at least want to know who it was that killed you. Why has everyone totally surrendered and decided that the culprit was a witch? What's wrong with all of you? The foolish and short-tempered Battler tried to force his ignorance on the others and yelled at them. Don't call it ignorance, he's right. It's definitely possible for any of the first 6 to be the culprit. Well, not any of the first 6. The only person who it's possible to be is Shannon. So there. However, everyone just looked at him pityingly, silently watching over him. At that time, the wise Maria laughed and pointed out Battler's mistake. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear the contradiction.
I'm shocked. All I see is you repeating this nonsense, thinking you figured something out, Battler. So, what's next? How would a human do it? In practical terms, I mean. I imagine you'll say, I just can't think of anything now, or with some kind of device, using abstract words to run away and evade the topic. But the thing is, those are actual rebuttals. Well, with some kind of device is an actual rebuttal. If you can disprove the device, then there, it's not a rebuttal. But if you can't disprove the device, like, there could easily be a tripwire where Cannon was. And there could easily have been, like, I don't know, some sort of pulley system for, I don't know, fucking something. Natsuhi's gun probably had blanks in it. How's that for a... It's a possibility and you can't disprove it. What I really want to know, Battler, is this. Why don't you believe in Beatrice? She exists, so why don't you believe?
Because she doesn't exist. Witches don't exist. There's no way. It was almost like a spoiled child who just doesn't want to accept something. The pitying gaze is quietly closed in around Battler, but they didn't reach his stubborn heart.
You realize that you're acting just like a spoiled brat throwing a tantrum, right? Battler, I understand your feelings, but...
Beatrice does exist. Battler, why don't you believe? Even though there's so much proof. There's no proof! I don't accept the argument that the witch must have been behind everything just because I can't explain it. Does this mean that you don't know how a light... Wait. Does this mean that if you don't know how a light bulb shines, then magic is the cause? I'm not sure that's a great analogy, but okay, yeah, I get it. That's wrong, isn't it? No, that's wrong! There's nothing that can't be explained without magic. All of this about witches and magic is just abdication of thought. You just surrendered and gave up because you don't understand what happened. Isn't that right?
Well, unsurprisingly, it looks like you alone won't believe no matter what, Battler. If even a single person doesn't believe, the miracle won't occur. So if you don't rethink your ignorant theories, the magic won't be completed.
Now I see. I finally figured it out. So in other words, you guys are trying to force me to say that witches exists, right? A lie that everyone accepts becomes the truth. Is that what this is all about? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I keep going on about this. But what you're doing is all useless. It's useless. I refuse. You guys are all pressing me, and that's why it's all useless.
Why?
Wait. I don't know how I was supposed to say that, but whatever. Sorry, but why don't you let me spin the chessboard around one last time? Yeah, where's Kyrie when you need her? Oh yeah, I forgot. She's fucking dead. Granted, everyone is, so... If you want to force me to accept that there's a witch, there's a really easy way. And it's not the indirect way of saying it must be a witch because humans couldn't have done it. All you have to do is show me a witch doing it with magic. Furthermore, what Maria said earlier is what'll really dig her grave. You're all dead, though. You said that if even one person doesn't believe, a miracle won't occur. But real miracles happen whether people believe in them or not. Even if I alone don't believe. So any miracles or magic or witches that exist only because I believe in them are downright lies. Oh, fuck. She shocked me on belief there. Ha, get it? Belief? Ha, ha, ha. Okay, it's still going. I guess this is like its own separate chapter or whatever. The uneasy mood following Batwer's ignorant rant was blown away by a very soft and light laugh. Whose laugh? Batwer was surprised. He had never heard that voice before. When he looked at George and Jessica, at Shannon and Cannon and Maria, he noticed that they had suddenly gone respectfully silent. It's Beatrice, isn't it? Are we finally gonna meet the damn bitch? Oh, fuck, yes. Oh, there she is. I don't know who's talking.
Beatrice!
How amusing. I haven't met such a charming human for quite some time. Well, who are you?
Don't you even know the host of the tea party you were invited to?
How amusing indeed.
This is Beatrice, the Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years.
Was that something that... Oh, fuck, hi! There's another person on the screen. Beatrice, the Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She has surpassed the limits of humans, and, like demons, will sometimes appear in response to the summons made by humans, to offer her power in exchange for a price. She likes black tea and ice cream. She hates boredom and people who deny her existence. I mean, I like black tea, I like ice cream, I hate boredom, and I definitely hate people who deny my existence. We can get along pretty well, Beatrice. Don't kill me, please.
It is an honor to be graced with your presence, Beatrice.
Please forgive Battler's ranting.
This guy's just stubborn, and, he still doesn't understand the situation he's in.
What a treat this is. Most witches get tired of living after the first 1,000 years. How nice it is to meet a man with backbone, such as yourself, every once in a while.
It is quite an honor to be present when Beatrice shows herself, Batwer.
How astonishing. Are you really that desperate to make me believe that a witch, that a 19th person is the culprit? This is starting to get interesting, and it's all useless. You must be the illusion that Maria and the others call the witch Beatrice. Thing is though, even if witches exist doesn't mean she's the culprit, no. And you'll only be allowed to exist if everyone believes it. You have that kind of a half-existence, right? That's why you want to make me believe too. You can't exist because I alone don't believe in you. Isn't that right? Your powers of comprehension aren't bad for a mere commoner who knows nothing of magic. Yes, it seems you were born with a strong magic-resisting power. You're a natural enemy of us witches. No matter how much we turn your world upside down, you never believe in us. Therefore, the magic won't succeed. I accept that attitude of yours. I've got no clue what you're saying. It's very kind of you to go to all of the trouble of showing yourself to us. How old is Beatrice? Because she looks like she could be really old, or maybe even just like 20. Like, I have no clue. It's very kind it's very kind of you to go to all of the trouble of showing yourself to us, but I don't believe you exist in the slightest. It's true that many strange things happened during those 2 days. Like Maria said earlier, even though I think all the tricks could be explained, I still can't lay out the practical details of each one. However, that doesn't mean I'll surrender. I'm different from the rest of them, got it? I'll never accept that it was the work of a witch just because I can't explain it. This keeps getting more amusing.
Making you surrender will be worth my while. You're just the kind of man I'd like to force into praising my name. I'd love to try making a man like you kiss my toes.
Wow, okay. If you want to talk nonsense, talk all you want. I deny you exist. I'll explain all these events with humans and tricks. There's no room for even a speck of magic or witches.
Wonderful! What a perfect way to divert oneself from 1,000 years of boredom. Then let me ask you.
Oh boy.
A short while ago, you said that using the crack in the door would be sufficient to kill Eva and Hideyoshi, right? Explain how they could have been killed using some human trick.
So only jumping right into the toughest part, are you? Does that mean this is the trick you're proudest of, Miss Real Culprit? Whoa! With a shake of her golden pipe, gentle, multicolored smoke trailed out the end, and we all turned into circles. Wait, it was Thanos. Time to kill people. Bam! Wait, let me just lick my finger, knuckle. Time to kill people. Wait. Bam! The smoke quickly obscured their surroundings, and they were suddenly in the hallway of the mansion. Oh, wow. She's actually bringing us to the mansion. Great. The door in front of them, slightly open but secured by the chain, was... That's right, it's the door to the room where Eva and Hideyoshi were killed. Nice trick.
Very well. Show me what you would do through this small crack, Battler.
They probably had some device to shoot those ice picks. If they used that...
How would they reach Eva over on the bed when you can't see that far through this crack? And how would they reach Hideyoshi in the bathroom with the door shut?
Oh, yep, there. Damn. There's a crack. There should be some way.
If you can't think of one, allow me.
Oh? How would a witch do it? Come on, let's see your little trick. Oh, they're still here.
Battler, you're being rude to Beatrice. How nice, how nice. What a charming man. That will make it even more fun to force him into submission.
You really want to make me kiss your toes that much? Only if I surrender. But watch. I'll definitely expose this trick, and then I'll make you kiss my ass instead.
What a delightful man.
Wow, that's apparently delightful.
I'll remember that promise. Weak witches kiss the behinds of demons to gain power.
Okay.
Because there's no more humiliating oath. Just being told that makes me want to force you into surrender.
Paying no mind to Beatrice. Paying no mind to Batwer's worthless ranting, Beatrice once again shook the golden pipe. That's right, that golden pipe was her precious magic cane.
Come, arise, children. I am the guide of purgatory. Forgive the deadly sins and hold the 7 stakes.
Guided by those magic words, which sounded like a command, 7 stakes gathered. They were the stakes of the 7 demons, symbolizing the deadly sins of sinful people. Wow, how many times can we say sins?
Beelzebub and Asmodeus. Come, forgive the sins. Release the spirits of the sinners.
What? Is this what I think it is? Because I think I remember some characters. The pics of Beelzebub and Asmodeus responded to Beatrice's call. The 2 stakes of the demons were stuck in through the crack of the door, like billiard balls struck by a cue stick. Then, several scattered noises refracted through the wall, making a sound like a woodpecker. And at the end, a pleasant sound could be heard. Okay, sure. It was a small, satisfying sound, like the one heard when someone is chopping firewood and the falling axe neatly and easily slices through the wood. It was the sound of the 2 picks burying themselves deep into Eva's and Hideyoshi's foreheads.
Right down the middle. Want to see?
They definitely heard 2 sounds like a pair of foreheads being split open. Battler wasn't permitted to see it since he was on the other side of the door, but those 2 had died again, and this second time, they lay not an inch apart from where they had lain the last time, with the exact same blood spray as before. You moron! That's insane! You think you can just kill them like that?
I can kill them. I can kill them just like this.
Oh, woo! Suddenly, they were no longer in the hall, but seated at the tea party they had started from. Everyone but Batwer was sitting meekly, but Cannon was moaning, fresh blood dangling from his mouth. What? What a rude thing to do at a tea party. Satan's stake was buried deep into Cannon's chest. Gah! Cannon! Cannon! Damn it! Battler was the only one getting agitated. George, Jessica, Shannon, everyone else was meekly hanging their heads like students being yelled at by their teacher. Cannon was captivated by a trifling anger and tried to disturb my banquet. Being easily captivated by anger is your deadly sin. Cleanse yourself, repent, and do it over. Beatrice, please forgive him. I think Cannon has repented enough. Wonderful. I am generous to those who respect me. Don't screw with me. Do you think I'll accept your existence because of this cheap act? Like hell you're a 1,000-year-old witch. Your tricks aren't 1,000 years old, they're just the sum of a century of classic tricks from the mystery genre. There's no such thing as magic. Definitely not. All of the crimes can be explained with humans and tricks. You would explain my 1,000 years with 100 years of humans? Good, good. This is precisely why I've taken a liking to you. Foolish Battler. Cut it out, Battler. You can't go against the witch. Shannon started moaning, holding her cheek. Maybe she had a toothache. But apparently it wasn't a toothache after all. A slight redness spread across the cheek Shannon was holding. Oh, please don't. It looked like that redness was causing Shannon unbearable pain. Her fingers were pressing in against her cheek, and drops of sweat appeared all over her body. Shannon! Hang in there! Hang in there! What's going on? Damn it, what the hell is that red stuff? It expanded rapidly, covering half of Shannon's face. Then the stupid dunce Battler finally realized. I don't know who's talking. Please, Battler, please believe in Beatrice. I beg you. Because you won't believe. Because you won't believe. The magic is dissolving! Is that Shannon? I don't know. That was probably Shannon. For the first time in his life, Battler heard that sound, like a pomegranate splitting. The red spray even landed on Battler's face. Poor Shannon's face had been split in half, and her last horrible moments in that storehouse were repeated once again. Shannon! Wait. Shannon! I can't scream. I don't know how to do that. Damn it! Stop it! Don't humiliate the dead! Don't humiliate the dead! Okay. This time the redness spread across George's entire body. Christ almighty. It was like the beautiful cloud drawn by milk when it's poured into black tea. It spread out and extended across his entire body. As it did, it seemed to give George increasingly greater pain. Christ. Looking at this bizarre spectacle, Battler was petrified as he frantically thought with his pitifully clumsy imagination about the nature of the strange death George and the rest were experiencing. Eventually, that redness reached the nearby Jessica as well. Stop it! What did George do? What did Jessica do? Just stop it! Battler, don't let the witch break your spirit. Deny her. Erase her. As long as at least one person denies her, she's an illusion that can't exist. Are you okay, Jessica? What, George? George was no longer recognizable as a human. Oh boy. He looked like the pile of leftover meat after the good delicious meat has been scraped off to be cooked. The only thing that even resembled a human was the shape of his lower jaw and ribcage. Christ, can we stop this? And it was clear that Jessica, who was covered with a steadily strengthening redness, was approaching the same fate.
Battler, quickly, believe in Beatrice. If you don't, everyone's magic will dissolve.
Maria, it's all over your body too. No, it isn't though. I revive all the dead with my magic. But as long as you don't believe, that magic will hold no true power. But I'm sure that a man like yourself won't surrender to something like this, right?
Battler!
I don't know who's talking. We didn't want to doubt our friends. We refused to face reality and gave in to the witch. Jessica probably?
But Battler, you won't give in to the witch! Yeah, good.
Jessica! Gah! What is with the creaking sound? Like, is this just something different every time? Like, it's just really weird now. And I still don't know why it just... Like, these actually seem like actual holes. Well, yeah, that's an actual hole. That's definitely a hole where she was stabbed. She was just shot. There's no hole there. But the thing is, like, I'm confused about these guys. How their bodies just look like all speckled and shit. I mean, it's likely that they were... I still think it's a bomb, probably. It just looks really weird, and it feels like it shouldn't be correct. It's just weird. Because these guys were all killed in ways that make sense. His face was just... And he was just like... And he was just like... You know? Gah! Poor Jessica met the same end. Just like George, she ended up like a butcher's leftovers. This is just disgusting now. George and Jessica were now so destroyed, melted and mixed up, it was impossible to tell them apart.
Battler! Don't cry. Beatrice will restore the dead over and over. So there's nothing to be sad about. So even if we die, we're still just fine.
The redness began eating into the whole of Maria's body. The foolish Battler watched and screamed. Christ, can we not do that shit, please? Let's never do that again. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. What is that, a heartbeat monitor? Whatever. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you! A witch? Magic? I'll risk my body and soul to deny you. No matter what happens, I can't accept you! Now that you've gone so far to piss me off, I'll never forgive you! I won't forgive. I won't forgive. I definitely won't forgive you. You regret making me, Ushiromiyas Battler, your enemy. I'll deny you no matter what. No matter how baffling things get, it can all be explained by humans. I'll erase every cell of you from this world. Well said. Battler, was it? That's just a thing to divert me from my 1,000 years of boredom. Come, explain. Try explaining it all with humans and tricks. And learn how lowly humans are. Let's see if what humanity has built up in 100 years can oppose my 1,000 years. This music is just fucking crazy. That's what will make That's what will make forcing you to submit so pleasant. So tell me, you who call yourself Battler, what about Maria's letter? How the 6 were killed? The shutter? The receipt seal? The closed room with the chain? Cannon in the boiler room? Genji and the others in the lounge? Natsuhi's suicide? The riddle of the epitaph? The location of the hidden gold? Ah, shit. I wanted to go back and read the... Yeah, there. Alright, Maria's letter was... Okay, I'm gonna try to explain these as best I can. Assuming that my theory about Shannon is right, let's see if all these fit. Maria's letter, Shannon dressed up as Beatrice and gave the letter to her. How the 6 were killed, that's false, only 5 were killed. Hideyoshi, Eva, and Nanja were accomplices, and they lied about Shannon being dead. The shutter doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The receipt seal, Kinzo left the room, noticed the receipt, put it back in, because he's just like, how amusing. The closed room with the chain was never locked, and Eva and Hideyoshi let Shannon in, and she killed them. Cannon in the boiler room, again, Shannon was in the boiler room and stabbed Cannon. Genji and the others in the lounge, Shannon killed them. Natsuhi's suicide, her gun had blanks. Shannon had a real gun and killed them. The riddle of the epitaph, don't know. The location of the hidden gold, well, they showed us, Kraus. And Natsuhi knew where it was in that one room that we never went in. Yes, Battler, why don't you show me the power of humans? Hold on. Okay. I can't read Japanese. Mali? All season end scripter. What does the country of Mali have to do with this? End scripter. What is this shit? I don't know what I don't know what this says. RMG. High tension wires. I don't know what this is. Are these like credits, but they didn't translate it? There's the and. By the courtesy of Hats Unlimited Incorporated. I still don't know what this says! Ah! I like this music. BS&T recording and rehearsal studio, Rabbit Hole studio, sound in studio, -45 die, M. Zaki, pre-holder, SB, Yoon, ZTS. The text just looks like it's getting bigger. This is honestly a really good soundtrack. Like, I don't think it's on par with Kingdom Hearts, but Christ if it isn't close. GML, 5PB, Hobie Box, Wayuda. Is that it? Oh my god. 7th expansion. 7th expansion presents Welcome to Umineko When They Cry 3. Okay, so is that the end of Chapter 1 officially now? That sounded more like cannon. Not cannon isn't the person. Like a cannon being fired. And no, I don't mean cannon being fired as a servant. I mean like the weapon, a cannon, being fired. Oh, Christ. Oh, God. Achievement unlocked. The gauntlet is thrown. Addition of new elements. Question mark has been added. You can find this new feature on the social. Stop giving me new shit. What is question mark? Welcome to the tea party of those who are not human. Another one? Fine, well, what the fuck? Stop giving me shit to do. So what is this? Okay. Womb. Oh look, it's Beatrice. What sort of black tea shall I prepare next? Allow me to display every refined tea that ever was and ever shall be. Oh cool, you're like my mom, you have a teacher. Oh, there she is. What was her name again? I don't know. It was something like German sounding, so we'll give her a German accent. Dried plum black tea. The kind that goes for 200 yen a pack. For 1,000 years I've been fond of black tea, but I did not know of such a thing. I will never tire of living in this world. Ah, yes, this nickname. Beato. You don't have to display such hostility. I am just a wandering witch. I didn't come with the intention of violating the rules of your territory. She's really short, excuse me. Hostility? I bear nothing of the sort. I am just very terribly concerned with seeing to it that the legendary witch, Lady Bernkastel, is still attended to. Yes, that's her name, Bernkastel. Okay. She looks a lot like Rika from, Higurashi, but I don't know if that's, like, an actual parallel. Like, I have reason to believe... Huh? What? That's weird. Okay, the Witch of the Fragments who has lived 1,000 years, it is said she lives in a world where the concepts of fate and possibilities can be visualized. She observes the fate of humans and sometimes interferes. In other words, sometimes she is you and sometimes she is your only friend. Understand? She likes wine and spicy food, she hates boredom and people who never learn. Okay, so what happens if you execute people? What a useless dream to try and kill me despite being a mere human. Fire your bullets and they will merely reflect back towards you like light off a mirror. However, there does exist just one way to kill me. You hold that method in the palm of your hand, though I doubt one as mediocre as you could ever pull it off. Do I just have to close the game? I'm not gonna bother doing that. And, okay. By constantly continuing to think, I will live forever. In other words, if I were to stop thinking, I could die at any time. However, once I start thinking again, I can also revive at any time. Oh. That's why I'm fickle and whimsical. I live as I please, die as I please, and revive as I please. That's interesting. You misunderstand. I am powerless. Before a witch such as you, who possesses the dreadful power to kill an individual 100 times, I am completely powerless. Should I give her a higher voice? I don't know if I should. It seems like she doesn't need such a deep a voice. That a powerless lady witch like you possesses a power that none can approach is what is truly terrifying. After all, that great witch, Lady Lambda Delta, was dethroned by you alone. Oh yes, I know Lambda Delta. She's an interesting one. I only won an endurance contest. She simply got tired. That is not what Lady Lambda Delta said, though. Too much humility can be unseemly, Lady Bernkastel. Oh, bye. That girl has a dreadful power. The power to kill an individual without fail. However, without fail doesn't exist in this world. No matter how many times you divide 1, you can never reach 0. That girl has the power to bring the odds of failure down to almost exactly 0. The power to give rise to almost perfect certainty. Why is she so stoic? I don't remember her being stoic, but whatever. I hope I never have to fight such a terrifying witch again. However, you have the power to cause success without fail as long as the odds are not 0. I think Bernkastel's talking, I don't know. Though you say without fail doesn't exist in this world, you possess an infallible power yourself. How very terrifying. And she's back, okay. The power to kill an individual endlessly. I think you're the more terrifying one. You jest. From your point of view, mine is but a trifling power. This is most certainly what one would call empty praise. Call it, I don't know who's talking. Call it flattery to make up for the cost of staying here. Oh, it's Bernkastel, okay. Call it flattery to make up for the cost of staying here. I'm a fleeing traveler who crosses the fragments, continually running from boredom. They all hate boredom, I guess. I simply came around because I heard you started something interesting. Have no doubts that I will choose to leave as soon as you are no longer interesting. I, Beatrice, am deeply and humbly delighted to have the great Lady Bernkastel as an observer. And so, your impressions? Lambda Delta is terrifying because of her cruelty, but she's a girl I can understand. You do seem to be capable of affection, but I can't understand you at all. That makes you much more terrifying than her. Okay. I am fickle by nature. Do forgive me. Besides, I believe you also enjoy entrusting your fate to the roll of fickle dice. Right, Lady Bernkastel? Why are they constantly teleporting? When I roll the dice, I have a roll I clearly want to get. Unlike you. You, on the other hand, never let the dice fall from your hand. So whatever the roll might have been, you're never disappointed. Whatever roll the dice show you, you're satisfied without fail. In that sense, you far surpass me. I still don't know who's talking! Ah! You're one I really don't want to fight with. Inside of you, there's nothing but 0. That's why I can't win against you with my power. It's worse compatibility. Perhaps Lambda Delta, on the other hand, has a good compatibility against you, since she would be able to kill your endless nature. Oh yes, witches truly are the best people to enjoy black tea with. One doesn't get bored. Stop! Then I'm relieved. Boredom is the only poison that can kill me. So don't kill me, okay? Lady Beatrice, Endless Witch. If such is your wish, I, Beatrice, shall show you an even better time. In that case, wouldn't it be best if I brought the next chessboard in right away? It seems the next tale would do more for you than another cup of black tea. Just wait for a moment. Cat. Okay. Oh boy. Something troublesome seems to have taken a liking to you. Is she talking to us? I don't know. I'd really like to lend you my power, but as you just heard, that girl's power and mine have a very bad compatibility. Unfortunate as that may be, but you really are pitiful, so I'll help you out just a bit. Oh boy. She's grayed out. First of all, about that girl. She does have the name Beatrice, but that doesn't necessarily mean she is one individual woman. What? Get what I mean? In other words, she's not some human. Her existence is a personification of the rules of this world. What? To beat her, you have to expose the rules of this world and unravel them. Perhaps this can be likened to learning the rules of chess by watching a game. First take a good look at the chessboard, then learn the movements and roles of the pieces, then look for the conditions required to win at her game. When you've managed to reveal all these things, her heart will be exposed. After that, you can rip it apart or crush it as you please. That's great, Bern. I'll call you Bern, because it's shorter than Bernkastel. I'm being quite generous. In the past, when I had a human body, it took me 100 years to notice even this much. This is my meager farewell gift to you, the pitiful one captured by Beato. It's just like a spoon. A spoon can be used for more than just drinking soup. Yeah, duh! You can use it to dig through the prison you're locked in, or as a weapon to gouge the witch's eyes out. Or you can eat some fucking ice cream. Yes, you can do that too. Of course, you can also use the spoon to continually sip the watery soup inside your eternal cell. Don't get the wrong idea, I have no intention of becoming your ally. I do feel empathy for you, but I won't help you. It's like I'm sitting in front of the television yelling at you on the other side, even though my voice won't reach you. Ah, shit.
So you understand that I am a witch, right? I intend to enjoy this endless tale that Beato is going to weave until I tire of it. But that alone won't hold my interest. That's why I'll lend you my power. It's also that I don't get tired of this. I am the cruelest witch in the world. Whoever the opponent may be, I'll make them surrender with certainty. Even if it's Beatrice, the Endless Witch, okay? You are my game piece. Give it your best shot. I'll give you advice sometimes out of her sight. Don't bore me, okay?
Okay, bye, Burn. See you later or something. Shatter, 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 shatter. Gonna get the timing. And shatter. No, it's just fading out. Okay. Then it shatters. So fool with me. No. Okay. Oh my fucking god. Bilingual HD version. Ryukishio 7070. 7th expansion. The Witch Hunt. I'm not reading all those. Uncle Mion. Oh no. Addition of a... Oh my god. Addition of a new game board and the next episode's lock has been removed. Addition of new features. You can find these new features on the title screen. Why? Why are there more things? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Tips. Take a look back on your recent stay. We hope that this will help you better recall the events of the past 2 days. What? What? Characters. What if I just keep doing that? Christ. I might as well check my theory with this finally. You have brown eyes. You have blue eyes. So, no, Goda probably didn't disguise him. He has a different face type anyways. Tips. The portrait epitaph. Behold the Sweetfish River. This is just the epitaph. We've read the letters. Yeah. The Witch's game record. Oh, wait, hold on. There are, like, nexts and stuff. Yeah, that's the first one that they showed us. Yeah, Kraus, Rudolph, then Kyrie, Rosa, Shannon, Goda. Eva, Hideyoshi, Kinzo, Kanon, Genji, Nanjo. Kinzo was probably killed before Eva and Hideyoshi, come to think of it. Winchester M1894 sawed-off. A sawed-off custom version of a rifle manufactured during the golden age of Winchesters. Oh, this is the gun. This special model more than makes up for its shorter lethal range by its portability and old-time cool factor. It can even be fired as quickly as a pistol if one works the lever action skillfully enough. Furthermore, any true lover of old Western dramas can't help but be attracted to the one-handed reload made possible by its characteristic lever handle. To match with Kinzo's personal preferences, it was made to handle .45 long Colt bullets. It holds 4+1 rounds. And then the 7 stakes of Purgatory. Stakes containing the 7 magics that represent the 7 deadly sins. In accordance with their users' orders, they bury themselves into the desired location of the desired target with perfect accuracy, because they flit about at ultra-high speeds and change their trajectories at will by bouncing off walls and the like. What? They have no blind spots and will hit their targets without fail, no matter what form of cover they might be hiding behind. Okay. Furthermore, it is possible to change the force they hit with, depending on the part of the body at which they strike. They are extremely powerful weapons, but they cannot target pure people who have not committed one of the 7 deadly sins or people who have a strong resistance to magical power. Okay, so I guess the only tip there is one of the 7 deadly sins, but I don't know which sin goes with which. All we know is that the Satan one apparently is anger. Let's check original again. That's okay. That one looks derpy. That one's fine. That's really derpy. That's really derpy. That's fine. Oh god. That's actually good. Oh god. That's fine. That's really derpy. That's really derpy. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine. It makes him look 12. Oh god, that's awful. And that's not great. Okay. To new. There we go. Now they're back. Okay, the tips don't seem to help very much, but We'll be able to start episode 2 next time. I didn't expect that the tea party would take an hour, but whatever. Episode 2, Turn of the Golden Witch. Good morning, the Golden Witch eagerly awaits your arrival. Please do grant her that wish. Were you able to get a good rest and perfect your strategy? The witch expects a lot from you and is more than ready to launch an assault right from the start. I also look forward to seeing your strategy. The difficulty level is extreme. Christ, really? The witch intends to make you surrender all at once. Okay, well, we're not going to do that yet, because that's it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!